Life isn't fair. That's the first lesson it teaches us. It rains on the just and unjust alike. People we love get taken soon, dreams we've worked for slip through our fingers, and sometimes the weight of simply existing feels unbearable. But hidden within the harshness is a paradox. Those same storms that break us are the very ones that shape us. Peace, happiness, purpose. These are not found in avoiding the storm, but in learning to dance with it. And I know a lot of us go through this and think, what is peace really? Most of us think peace is the absence of struggle, a quiet life, no stress, no conflict. But true peace isn't the absence of hardship, it's the presence of clarity in the middle of hardship. You have the power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you'll find strength. Peace comes from not controlling life because life is uncontrollable, but from mastering your response to it. Superman can't control that he's different, but he can choose to embrace that difference with kindness instead of bitterness. Spider-Man can't bring Uncle Ben back, but he can choose to carry his responsibility with honor. Bruce Wayne can't undo that alleyway, but he can choose to use his grief as fuel. True peace is when you accept the reality for what it is, not for what you wish it were, and then build from there. And now let's talk about happiness, the misunderstood goal. Happiness too is often misunderstood. We chase it like it's a trophy, something we'll finally receive once we made it, once we have the money or the love or the recognition. But happiness doesn't live in the future, it lives in the now. Alan Watts once said, stop measuring days by the degree of productivity and start experiencing them by the degree of presence. Happiness is in the small acts. Laugh with a friend, finishing a long walk, the quiet moment before sleep. It's not a destination, it's the trail markers along the journey. Thor lost his hammer, his father, his home, and in his grief, he thought his powers were gone. But he discovered happiness not in what he lost, but in what remained, in companionship, his people, in humor, and his ability to still fight for something greater. Happiness is fragile, yes, but it's also resilient. You don't need a perfect life to have it. You just need presence. Now let's talk about purpose, the anchor in chaos. Happiness lights the moment, but purpose gives you direction. A famous proverb out there says, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how, and that is what separates despair from resilience. Think of Steve Rogers standing across from Thanos, beaten, bloodied, and outnumbered, but still tighten up the strap on his shield. Why? Because his purpose wasn't to win every fight. His purpose was to stand no matter what. Think of Diana, also known as Wonder Woman, stepping into a world she doesn't fully understand, facing cruelty and war. Why? Because her purpose is love, and that gives her courage. Purpose is the anchor that steadies us when life feels like an ocean storm. Without it, we drift. With it, we endure. And the last thing I really want to cover is the philosophy of striving and becoming. The Japanese concept of IKIGAI, or IKIGAI, also our brand name, either way you say it is fine, but it's pronounced IKIGAI, tells us that purpose lies at the intersection of what we love, what we're good at, what the world needs, and what sustains us. Finding that balance can take a lifetime. But even when you haven't found your perfect IKIGAI, striving itself has meaning. As Confucius once said, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Striving is an antidote to despair. Growth is the answer to stagnation. Batman doesn't keep fighting because Gotham never truly gets better. He fights because in striving, he finds who he is meant to be. And that's the truth. Life will never stop being harsh. There will always be new trials, new losses, new unknowns. Waiting for the storm to end is waiting for life to end itself. The challenge is to cultivate peace within the storm. Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. That means peace isn't found in the world being calm, but in you being calm in the world. When Iron Man snapped his fingers, it wasn't because he was guaranteed survival. It was because he accepted his role, his sacrifice, his peace in the story. That acceptance is peace. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the proof that you're living, striving, and daring. Thomas Edison once said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And just like that, you know heroes constantly fail. Spider-Man failed to save Uncle Ben. Batman failed to protect everyone he loves. Superman fails to be understood by the world. And yet, those failures are not their endings. They are the reason why their story matters. Your story does not disqualify you. They are your training ground. You do not need superpowers to do this. You do not need a cape. All you need is the willingness to take on one more step when it feels impossible. To smile one more when it feels hopeless. To love once more when it feels dangerous, because in the end, the harshness of life doesn't destroy us. It reveals us. And maybe, just maybe, your scars, your struggles, and your striving are not proof that you are broken. Maybe they are proof that you are becoming.